Welcome to Father Time. My name is Greg, and I'm proud to be here along with my fellow Father Tinians.
Tiny. And I'm Samuel.
Hi, I'm Alexander.
And we're looking forward to having a nice conversation today. So with that being said, I'm going to ask Alex to lead us in this segment.
Yes, so today I was thinking about who I'm going to be talking to today. And as we are Father Time, of course, we're talking to the fathers. But for some reason, I wanted to kind of focus on the young fathers out there. And the reason I wanted to focus on the young fathers is because right now with COVID-19, everybody's in quarantines. So what does that mean? What that means is everybody, as far as I know, is staying home more often than they're going out. I'm 48 years old, and I find it pretty easy to stay home and go about with my different roles and responsibilities as a husband, as a father, as an entrepreneur, as a contractor, worker, brother, and so forth. But I started thinking about the young fathers, and I'm thinking of like when I was young, I didn't want to stay home. It was like staying home was very, very hard to do. There was a time I think when, I'm kind of pondering in my memory bank, and it's kind of like I think I was 19 years old, and I think I might have stayed home like one Saturday. Like I remember being home and thinking like it's a Saturday and I'm not out, and it just felt weird. So the point I'm getting to is this: what kind of effect is quarantine having on you? And hopefully you're able to process this this quarantine feeling that we're all having, or that you're having. But if you're not, what we wanted to get to, and the title of my subject was kind of like quarantine meltdown. So how do we prevent the meltdown? Before I give my answer, I'd like to just bounce it off the guys. Like, what would you tell a 18, 19-year-old, a young father, how to prevent or ward off this quarantine meltdown? What would you say? Well, let's go to Greg and then Sam.
Yeah, I say Greg first because age before beauty. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I am beautiful. Thank you, Sam. You're old.
You got that wrong, Greg.
So you bring up a good point, Alex. So first off, I think we're all feeling it, right? To deny that is a problem, right? We're all feeling confined. I grew up in a free country where I could get up and do whatever I want. I got married. There's different rules. There's different circumstances. I had kids, different rules, different circumstances. But at the core of that, I could choose, right? I had a choice. And now I feel like I've lost some of that freedom because somebody's telling me I need to stay at home. And when I go out, I should wear a mask. So we're all feeling that, right? I feel the walls closing in on me. Some days my kids, it's like, they really got to go back to school because, really?
Yeah.
So the reality is, what do we do, right? We're all feeling it. What do we do? I find breathing really helps. I know it sounds corny and that just, right? And if anything, I need to walk away, right? I need to go outside. I need to go for a walk down the street. Maybe I go to the pool and I go swimming. I can go to the gym now, right? And then as a good father, and I'm finding these moments where I'm just chilling out, I realize my kids are feeling it too. And do I let them just walk out of the house? No, right? So then it really adds this whole nother dimension. It's not just what can I do to find my center in this, but then how do I walk my kids through this, finding their center, right? Because, I agree, right? It's just a time bomb waiting to go off. And if we keep closing in the walls, the next thing you know, I explode. And then I say something I didn't want to say.
So Greg, giving like practical tactics to an 18 or 19, 20-year-old father, okay. What would you tell him to do?
Stop. Just stop. Mm-hmm. And start counting out, right? So as your mind said, we count out our breath. So deep breath in, We hold it and we exhale. Do the second.
Mhm.
Hold it.
Mhm. So what you're saying is,
And I
if
count
I'm
out exhales and I'm doing my fingers and I want to get to 10. And there's something physiologically that goes on that it's like in different endorphins are released. I reset my brain. How many times do our computers lock up? And what do they say? Oh, reset it, right? Hold that button in.
Mhm.
Reset it.
Control Alt
so
Delete.
what
Go on telling people, reset your brain.
so Greg, if I'm mom or dad or girlfriend or wife, and I come into the room or I see you sitting down or whatever, and you're 18, 19-year-old Greg, and I start telling you, hey, when are you going to clean your room? Or how come, you went and you made something to eat, but you didn't clean up after yourself? How come you keep leaving things behind? How come you don't pick up after yourself? And then that feeling that you get when you start getting angry. Maybe you start getting sweaty, maybe your stomach tightens or whatever, and you can feel your blood boiling or whatever. So what you're saying is just make that choice to just stop. And you said take a breath. Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah. You have to do the deep breathing exercises. At some
Uh-huh.
point, I'm entering into an area I don't want to be in, right?
So let's
I'm starting
play
to
it out.
yell
You're
at my
you're taking
kids. I'm
you're
starting to
taking.
lose some control. If I'm self-aware, I'm going to step back and say, whoa, wait a minute. I'm becoming that guy. Oh, my dad that I don't want to be.
Uh-huh.
Then I stop.
So we play it out, and I'm that other person, and I'm like, what are you doing? And you're gonna say, you're
Give me a
go
minute.
ahead. What are you gonna say?
Give me a minute. I might even turn around and walk out of the hallway. If I've been
Wh-
yelling at him, believe me,
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I'm going to go and find a quiet little spot in the hallway and I'm going to breathe. I'm going to reset myself. This is what I do. So I'm the guy at
So
C
are you gonna come back and you're gonna clean this stuff, Greg?
and then I'm going to have that conversation. Yes, I need you to clean your room. Yes. When do I want it done by? 7 o'clock tonight. Can we do that?
No, you're young, Greg. I'm the father or the mother in this role play.
So your daddy just left.
Yeah, I'm getting upset, or I'm wife,
Okay.
or I'm
Okay.
girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what am I going to say to you, Dad? Time out, Dad.
oh,
Hold on. Dad. We talked about breathing, right? You asked me to breathe all the time, Dad.
no, don't tell me how to breathe. I'm telling you, you need to clean your room. I'm tired of this bleep, 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 bleep. And
Yes,
you're
sir.
over here telling me that you need to go breathe.
Yep.
So are you going to go breathe and then come back and clean your room?
That's going to be a better conversation than the one we're having right now.
Well, hey,
So does my 16-year-old say? Yeah, absolutely, all the time. That's what our kids are called to do, to hold us accountable.
mhm,
Well,
exactly.
let me throw in my two
Yes,
cents.
Yeah, Sam,
go
go
on,
ahead.
go on, Sam.
Yeah, being that I don't, I'm 57 years old, so I'm like the oldest of the three amigos here. So I'm the only one. Not only that, not only do I have more kids than the two of you, but then again, all my kids are adults now. So um, I would think that during this time, I think if I was, a young kid, 18, 19 years old, and I'm starting off as a father, one thing that's very young to be a father. I mean, I started at 26 years old. Uh, so I think with everything that's going on in this day and age, with this amount of you know pressure. I mean, there's actually pressure, with people having to stay home. I mean, they're home more often than ever. They're around their kids more often than ever. They're around their wife or their significant other or their girlfriend or the mother or the father of their children more than ever. So for me, I mean, I think this is like the most opportune time for people to kind of get it together. Obviously, because of the divorce rate in the United States, obviously, there's a lot of problems in relationships to begin with. So, what I've been telling people in my classes over and over, these last 4 months is that, hey, guys, I've heard it a zillion times before. There's not enough time in a day. Well, you know what? there's more than enough time in the day now. So all those things that you keep procrastinating and putting off, and saying, yeah, I'm going to do it some other time when I got the time. Well, the time is now, and it's been for the last 4 months. So I've been telling people in my class, if you really haven't really started trying to communicate better with your significant other or with your children or the people in your life circle, then you're missing out on an incredible opportunity. But this right now is the time for people to kind of reset. Like Greg was saying, not necessarily with the breathing all the time, but that's a good way to start. But it's a good time to reset and have a mindset change if there's one that's necessary. And in most cases, it is. And at that point, once you start changing this, then this can start changing the heart, the spirit, the soul. Um, Obviously, we deal with people who come to us through different types of government entities, that are to say, you need to take a class, you need to maybe talk to somebody, about the domestic violence situation you might be in, or the parenting situation you might be in that's not so conducive to what would be considered, I guess, considered good because you got the CPS case and what have you. But I think it's a perfect opportunity and a perfect time for people to get a better understanding of themselves, to do some soul searching, to kind of really identify who they are as a person, as a father, as a husband, as a son, as a friend, as an employee, and to really go deep down
So
inside.
so Sam, so Sam, I'm 19-year-old Greg, right? And
Too damn skinny.
I have my, I've been living at my parents' house. Me and my girlfriend have been living at my parents' house. We have a 2-year-old, and it's just every day is just very frustrating. It's just very frustrating. And one of the things that I always think about is like, why does it seem like um, everybody else has it good, but me and my family always fight all the time? Why does it feel like my family is always the one that hurts me, whether it be my mom, my dad, uh, you know, my girlfriend or whatever? Why does it seem like those that are closest to me hurt me the most?
Because that's pretty much the case with everybody. It usually is the closest people to you that hurt you the most. So it's really just being able to deal on a daily basis with your circumstances. So the first thing, of course, is that we all have choices, and then of
Mhm.
course, based on the decisions we make, we all have consequences. So
Mhm.
there has to be consistency and knowing, when you have the consequences, whether they're negative or positive, how are you going to continue to make your decisions? Because like you're saying, here you are, you're at your parents' house, you're a young kid with a child, 2 years old. You said 18, so I mean, you had your kid at 16. You're not an adult, by any means. Just because you have a kid doesn't make you an adult. But now you're really going to be, leaning uh, on your parents to really help you and guide you through this situation. And obviously, it's going to be very frustrating and very uh, at times overwhelming because you're a kid, you're a teenager. You should be having fun and going to school and going to prom, but instead you're raising kids. So the thing is, you need to teach your children at a very, young age, just, about the consequences of having, unprotected sex. Because, to me, I tell everybody all the time, every time you lay down with somebody, there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to get pregnant, whether if you're wearing a diaphragm or whether you're wearing a rubber or whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, that opportunity, that chance is always going to be there.
So
And
we're running out of time, guys. I'm
So
telling
so
you.
so let me close
We're
up
gonna get
this
the
topic.
video up on YouTube, okay?
We're going to close up this topic, sum it up,
okay.
and then we'll move on to the next topic. So what I was kind of hearing, and I think Sam said, family is usually the one that hurts you the most, and I think the reason that being young 19-year-old Greg is because the people you love are with you all the time and they're behind you all the time, but with that love also comes the good and the bad. You know what I mean? So your little, their little, what's the word? Their buttons. I want to call them buttons. Their pet peeves, your pet peeves. Y'all are gonna press those, once in a while. How do you stop pressing them frequently? Is just understand that feelings come every day. Sometimes we're in a good mood. Sometimes we're happy. Sometimes we're excited. Sometimes we're sad. Sometimes we're depressed. But the way you process that, and I think that leads to what Greg is saying, when you have that feeling, how are you going to process it? Greg is saying, hey, just take a step back, go for a walk. Sam likes to go fishing. I like to go swimming. Some people like to go work out. Just go do something that's going to relieve some of that negative energy, so to speak, and then come back and take care of your responsibilities, whatever those may be. And also, let me add one more thing. I really, really, truly believe a big part of this, again, 19-year-old Greg, 18-year-old Greg, if you actually do something for somebody else, so go out of the box. Let's say you have a friend down the street or across on the other side of the city who's going through the same thing. I think if you give them a call and just say, hey, how's it going? Or if you take it a step further, go somewhere. A friend of my wife's came over, and I told her she's a blessing. If she hears this, she'll know who she is. She came over and she brought tacos and a Taco Cabana nachos. And she just showed up, knocked on the door and said, hey, how's it going? And she was talking to my wife. And she gave it to her, and my wife was so excited. She started getting tears in her eyes.
He's like, thank God I don't have to cook tonight.
But the point I'm trying to make is, I think if a father is having, I think sometimes if you're having a rough time and you go get in your car and you buy somebody something, keep it local. My suggestion is keep it local, buy something local from a local business, and then just take it to a friend of mine and just say, hey, bro, here's some barbecue ribs from Smoke, because I think Smoke has like some 1999 dinner meal or whatever. Here, boom. I think you're gonna see his face smile, and then that's gonna make you feel good.
All right.
So
Okay,
that's just my suggestion. Okay, on to our next one.
All right. So Sam, any last words?
No, just I mean, obviously everybody's going through the same same thing. We're all in the same boat. It's just a matter of how we handle ourselves individually. And obviously, there's always it's a simple thing. You're either gonna do the right thing or the wrong thing. You're gonna be on the good side or the bad side. Just make sure you make better decisions. And get through it.
All right, great segment, guys. Thank you for joining us.
And do it together.
We will see you guys soon.